Could a spiraling out of control debt bubble push players into BTC or to alts like XRP and Hbar where they can make higher percentages of their money? Brad and David said, yo, XRP is here to rewire the financial system, but what are they actually rewiring? The Pi Network's having some problems outside of price. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk price of some of our favorites along with
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
50 million tokens is just the beginning. What is going on? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. We got, are we dipping into more red on the screen? Come on, girlfriend, we were in the green a little bit earlier today. But before we get into that, you know the deal, Lemon Peel, your comments come first. Why? Because you, the viewer, matter most. Ski Mask Citizen says, Team Klaus forever. I'm so glad you're calling out that scam nerd, Crypto Sensei out. Yeah, I mean, you got to, because the posts on Twitter are absolutely bonkers. The videos on YT are absolutely bonkers and lies, and it screws over the viewer. And you, the viewer, matter most. That's why I share it. Doran Butler says, nice work, Klaus. I don't do most social media. I don't either. But I'll make a Twitter exception because I know it's going to be lit. That's right. I've been a naughty boy on Twitter lately, and I do share some news on Twitter. I'm actually a lot of fun on Twitter. You think how I am on here is kind of cool? You should see me on there. It's linked in the description down below. Oh, and I don't try to sell you on crap on Twitter either. Seriously, I don't know courses, none of that BS. El Loran says, who gets done first? You or the Trump tariffs? That's right. I'm waiting to get in to see a specialist. Do the tariffs get done first, or do I see the specialist first? Well done. I like that. You want to do the heat map? Nah, I really don't. But first, Coinbase exec warns 50 million tokens is just the beginning. This is bonkersville, everyone. And this is part of the problem. The liquidity of crypto is getting spread around just way too far. According to Connor Grogan, no relationship to Conor McGregor, director at Coinbase, there are 50 million different crypto tokens in circulation today, a figure that highlights both innovation and speculation in the market. That's roughly 6,000 tokens per listed U.S. stock or ETF. One token exists for every K to 12 public school student in the United States. If someone tried to read every token name, one per second, it would take nearly 600 days non-stop. This is crazy. Grogan did not just reflect on the current numbers, but he's also talking about the future. I am seriously fearful about how many there's going to be in 5 to 10 to 20 years. Pump.fun has been one of the biggest drivers of the explosive growth because of Memecoins. Yeah, check it out. There are right now 16.61 million. And with all these Memecoin launch pads and people wanting to catch a slice of the mini pie, no wonder there's so many tokens being launched. So let me ask you all a quick question. And let me know in the comments down below because you know I like to share your comments, okay? Is that part of the problem we're having in crypto? Is with all these meme coins, are we diluting some of the big projects out there? Is the reason you're not seeing that much money flow into Hedera, Hbar, into XRP is because of all the meme coins out there diluting the value? I mean, I even see it on the Stellar chain. People are launching meme crap all the time. Oh, jump on this token, jump on that token. There's no utility. It's just players out there launching meme, hoping that you pick their meme and that they make money off of you. Pi Network mainnet migration faces possible delays amid user complaints over verification steps. Well, Pi Network's having some problems. You know what a big problem is? This is their chart, their lifetime chart. Nothing else says pump and dump other than PiCoin. And I don't just bring you the news, good or bad. I bring you the news, happy or sad. And this chart is bad and sad. Look at this. Volume 55 million. Not good, everyone. So not only are they having price problems, they're having migration problems, and a bunch of you have also said in the comments that you're having problems with user verification as well. KYC ain't working. You know what else is a big problem? And it might push players into Hbar, XRP, BTC, and the other alts? Debt. Lots of debt. The GOP bill for Trump's agenda would add $2.4 trillion to the debt over the next 10 years. But I thought we were trying to reduce spending. I thought we were trying to make the debt go down. Now, by the way, I've got all this linked in the description below. Who leads right now debt in the world? That's the United States. Estados Unidos. All right, I'm having trouble talking today, okay? Almost $37 trillion in debt. So let's just add another 2.4 trillion. Eventually, these bubbles are gonna burst, right? Having a little bit of problems with Japan. You know, we're having some definite problems with China in debt. But the United States right now is at almost 37 trillion. And these governments just keep spending and spending. And we ain't getting much for this debt either. Do you got great roads? No, you don't. Do you got great medicine and healthcare? No, you don't. Do you got great infrastructure? No, you don't. Like, you don't. You do not. Canada, you got a lot of debt. Do you got good healthcare? No, you don't. UK, you got a shitload of debt. Do you got awesome healthcare, roads? No, you don't. You don't. So we're racking up all this debt, and now this bill is racking up even more debt. The figure is slightly higher than the earlier version of the bill, which is projected at 2.3. Now it's 2.4 billion. The budget office also estimated that the package would increase the number of people without health insurance by 10.9 million by 2034 because of the spending cuts to medical. Oh, look, okay? We're adding to the debt, and the debt bubble is scaring a bunch of people out, which we've seen. A lot of players now are moving money into BTC. A lot of players are moving money into crypto because they're trying to avoid the meltdown of the dollar. They're trying to avoid the meltdown of the yuan. They're trying to avoid the meltdown of the euro. Why? Because it's freaking debt everywhere. Look at all of these countries here. Look at all of the debt. Turkey, 477 billion in debt. They don't make that much money in Turkey. Russia, lots of debt. Portugal, Poland, Mexico. Everyone's got freaking debt right now. People are looking at crypto as a way out. Now, the big story for Ripple XRP is this. Ripple is building a financial system with the XRP ledger, Ripple CTO confirms. This is the big story that emerged from XRP Las Vegas. Let me share this with you, okay? Revelation came during a recent XRP Las Vegas event. It emerged as an exchange between Schwartz and crypto reporter Vincent Scott, who represented a framework describing Ripple's ecosystem as self-contained financial architecture. Oh, okay. Notably, Scott's framework centers around three core components: RLUSD functioning as a unit of the account, XRP as a medium of exchange or gas, and XRPL as a decentralized payment infrastructure. Schwartz confirmed that these elements could collectively translate to a financial system. So what Schwartz said, yes, you can consider these things financial. Essentially, look, people are blowing this out of proportion. It's not anything juicy. This isn't groundbreaking. It's been around. XRPL has been around for a while. XRP has been around for a while. RLUSD is the new stablecoin by Ripple. Awesome. Is this a new system that's going to replace an old one? No. But people are running with this like it's the next sliced bread. This is what happened. Is what Ripple built to finance, not me, but this is Vincent Scott. I'm reading for Vincent Scott right now. Is what Ripple built a financial system where the unit of account RLUSD transmits over a decentralized method of payment XPL through a means of exchange XRP either as gas or money processors to convert. David said yes. Shook his hand, walked immediately, recorded video with subsequent information like, oh, melting faces. Dude, you look like Dwight Schrute, man. Just throwing it out there. Then all of a sudden you get all these articles. XRP's future Ripple CTO reveals is bigger than payments. No, but it's not. It's again another overhyped nothing burger. Because for real, are you using XRP to pay for stuff? No. Because no one wants to use it to pay for anything because you're using XRP for speculation, aren't you? You're using XRP to hopefully 10x, 100x on this. You're holding on to XRP until it gets to $10, $20, $40 so that you can eventually sell it and then buy yourself a big McMansion or maybe buy yourself a Lambo or a Porsche. You know what I'm saying? When stuff went south in Hurricane Helene, people weren't posting signs going XRP taken here. No, they were like, yo, we accept cash and that's it. Why? Because our electronics don't work. Yeah, when I travel, you know what I see everywhere? Cash, 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 girlfriend. Debit card, debit card, debit card, girlfriend. And don't get me wrong. Do I think it's important that XRP is building stuff on XRPL? Yeah. But the problem is, just like every other chain out there, the majority of things built on XRPL, the majority of things built on Tron, the majority of things built on Stellar is scams. It's true. There are tons and tons and tons of things built on XRPL. There are tons of things built on Stellar, but the majority of them are scams. The majority of them are memes. The majority of them serve no purpose. And the majority of you watching right now, do not spend your XRP on stuff. You speculate on it. The majority of you right now that are HBAR fans, Frankie included, you're not spending your HBAR. You're stacking it so that one day you're like, yo, when HBAR goes from 17 cents right now where it's at, and maybe goes to $2, maybe goes to $5, you could then cash it in for some fiat, interesting how that works, and then buy something cool with it. Buy your kids a house, right? Buy your wife and yourself cool vacations and retirements. And you see what I'm saying? So, like, I get it. Did XRPL Ripple build a system, right, between XRP, XRPL, and RLUSD? Yes, they did. Is anyone using the system? No, you don't. Are you using RLUSD? No, you're not. Are you using XRP to pay stuff? And when you go to the grocery store? No, you're not. When you fill up your car with gas, you're like, you know what? Let me transfer some XRP. You're like, hell no, I'm not. No, I'm just stacking XRP. You're doing just the opposite. You're taking cash and using your cash into XRP. That's why I brought up the debt bubble in the beginning, to show you that a lot of players are taking fiat and ramping it into cryptos to avoid the debt bubble, to avoid the debt crisis. And then once that XRP, that HBAR and so forth get juicy enough, you will then off-ramp it back into fiat, capitalize on it, because we know that the whole fiat is devaluing. We know that. And then you're going to capitalize on that action. So be very careful out there, because now a whole bunch of articles are going around going, oh, Ripple is building a financial system. What system are they building that people are using? Because guess what, Boobala? Guess what, Boobala David Schwartz? People aren't using XRP for payments. People are using RLUSD for payments. People are using XRP for speculation, just like you're using HBAR for speculation. That's the key. Now, HBAR price-wise, look, 16 cents ain't going to get us where we need to. Volume at 100 million ain't going to get us where we need to. Zoom out to the 1 month. Yeah, we had some times in that 20-cent range. People have been playing HBAR as dips and tips. They've been buying low, sub 20-cent range, selling it once it gets north, making juicy 20, 30-cent profits. Is that what you like to hear? Probably not, but that's the reality of this situation. The bigs have been using accounts with lots of zeros. They've been buying HBAR 17 cents. They've been buying HBAR sub 20 cents, selling it north of 20 cents time and time again, and making lots and lots of money doing so. Check it out. You've seen it right here. Look at the charts. You've been able to do it several times. You can do it right here to here. Do it right here to here. Seen it plenty of times. XRP, you can do it at the same time. Same way, over and over and over again. We've seen that before. Before the 265 pump, I showed you that institutions bought it and dumped it all at 250. Now we saw it again. They did it both at 265 and dumped it all the way down. Got it back down to 208. That's what's been happening right now. But remember, these players out here, like Vincent Scott, otherwise who looks like Dwight Schrute, are like, oh, they're building a system. No, they're not. They're not building a system that people use. What people are using XRP for is to hope to outrace the debt. Why is Michael Saylor and all these players adding BTC to their strategic reserve? They're doing it because they want to outpace cash. They don't want their cash just sitting in a bank account doing nothing. They're hoping that if they park it into crypto, they will outpace all of the debt that's just eating away, all the inflation that's just eating away at fiat. So it's not about a new financial system. It's about a way to make your money work, a way to make your money win. So, you might be having some problems with Pi Network's migration. You might also be having some problems with Pi coin price. Pump and dump? Yes, girlfriend. Are we adding to the debt with this latest bill, 2.4 trillion? Yes, we are. Did Ripple build a three-pronged system? Yes, they did. Does your local gas station or grocery store take XRP for payments? No, they don't. Would you ever use XRP to pay for shit? Hell no. Why? Because you'd rather wait for it to beat out the degradation of value of fiat, to then cash it in, to then buy something with it, to then be juicy AF. That's how the story goes. Oh, but wait. Please, fill the comments down below, haters, with how you use XRP at your local bodega. Please tell me when you go out with your girlfriend, when you go out with your wife, you go, hold on, kind sir. I'd love to pay with my dinner with XRP. Hell no, you don't pay with your dinner with XRP. Do you know why? Because XRP price isn't pumping like crazy. No, you stack XRP. Because you know what you're hoping? You're hoping in 5 years there's another zero at the end of the price so that you could then sell that for fiat and then use your fiat to pay for stuff. Come on now. Ain't no one using their crypto to buy stuff. Crazy talk. And the debt thing is a serious concern. And that's why the strategic reserve asset play is really garnering a lot of attention. Because these players are looking at the debt going, here's the debt. Here's the devaluation of currency and what inflation is doing. Is there an asset that we could park our money in that's going to help us race against the debt? Yeah. And think about it. What exactly are you going to do? You're going to take your fiat and you're going to buy crypto with it. And what you're hoping for is that your crypto value goes up faster than the fiat value. So that one day, once it's high enough, you could then sell it quick for fiat, use that, and then buy something quick with it because you don't want to keep parking your money into cash. It's not about a new financial system. It's about you finding a place to invest your money where you can beat inflation. Why? Because the entire world is caught in a debt cycle right now. Everywhere is. There is no country right now where you are escaping debt. There is no zone in the world where you are escaping debt. But bro, Ripple's building the new financial system. No, they're not. They are not. They are a private company that is making money. Their job is to make money. They are selling products to people to make money. Sailor is out there investing his cash and investing future debt into BTC to hedge against inflation. So that he can what? He can beat all this debt out because he believes that the United States and other countries are going to default and that these fiats are going to crash and that crypto is going to be the winner. Yeah, exactly. So no, your local gas stations don't use XRP for payment. No, you can't go to your grocery store and use your XRP. And even if they did, you're not going to. Because it doesn't make sense. Come on now. A lot of you out there have been stacking XRP Hbar XLM. Would you really right now spend it? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. Come on. Be real here. But these people out here are going to be like, oh, they're doing a whole new financial system. Trying to get you to think that like the whole world is going to change. No. We've all lived through crises before. I've traveled through a whole different parts of this cool globe. Sphere. And players aren't using cryptos for payments like that. We're using them as an investment tool, a speculation tool, a hedging tool. Why? Because if you park large sums of cash, it gets eaten up by inflation. So instead of parking large sums of cash somewhere, let's park them somewhere where we can earn some money. There you go. So, that's the deal. News, good, bad, happy, or sad, and debt is ruling the roost right now. So choo-choo what? Choo-choo biz nacho.